So now we are in the sanctuary part of the church. We have the altar candles. The altar candles are standing on the altar. That's why they're called the altar candles. And they are only lit if we are having communion on a Sunday. If we're not going to have communion, then we will skip them and only light the back candelabras. But at St. Paul's, we almost always have communion on a Sunday. We also have here the ombre candle. This candle represents that there is a communion that's already been consecrated present in the church. And it always stays lit. You don't have to worry about that at all. Just wanted you to know it's there. And then we have the candelabras in the back. And those are the candles in the sanctuary. We start here with the paschal candle. Paschal means the lamb, which is why there's a lamb on this candle. It also means the Christ candle. This candle is the first candle we light when lighting the candles for Sunday morning. We like for it to be lit before people enter the church, if possible, because we want to symbolize that Christ's light always shines. Even in the darkest of our moments, Christ's light is there to shine into our hearts and into our lives. That's why it's always the first candle to be lit and the last one to be put out. So now we're going to light the candles. As you can see, I'm out here in the church with a lighter in my hand, and that's awkward. So we are going to light the taper, which is this fancy thing. I want you to light that in the back room here that we call the sacristy, not out here, because it's kind of awkward to walk out here and not have anywhere to put the lighter. The first candle you light is the Christ candle, if there is one. You can say a short prayer while you light it, saying something like, "O Lord, light your light into my heart," or "Fill my heart with light," or "Thank you that your light never goes out." Okay? We're going to proceed to the altar. Oh no! It went out! What do I do now? Now what I'll do is I will just go back to the Christ candle if it goes out on accident, and I will light it again. We proceed in reverence. We bow as we enter the sanctuary. We bow to God. And we light the right one first. Then I like to bow again. That's up to you. And then the left one on the altar. Again, only lighting the altar candles when there is communion. Then we start at the cross, and we go out from the cross, doing the right one first. And an easy way to remember which one you do first is that the right is always a light. The right is always a light. Again, I start at the cross because Christ's light shines out from the cross. Okay, now it's time to put the candle and the taper out. I will reverence the cross one more time. Come out here. I'll pull it down and then push it immediately back out so it doesn't get stuck down in there when it melts. And that is how you light the candles. So you enter the sanctuary with a bow. You don't normally bow with something in your hand, but for some reason we bow with the taper. And remember that from our other video, the right candle is always a light. Right is always a light. So we're going to start away from that, and we're going to move toward this candle. This is the last candle to go out. That's why the right is always a light. Easy way to remember. So you bow to reverence the cross, and you put the candles out, moving toward the cross, recognizing that the light of Christ can never go out. I often will say a short prayer while I put the candles out. Thank you, Lord, that your light shines into the deepest and darkest places. Moving toward the cross, it doesn't take long to put them out. And then you do the left candle on the altar, and then the right candle on the altar. You reverence it one last time, and if the Christ candle or the Paschal candle is out, then you will also put this out, and this goes out last. This one's always the last one. And it's a little bit more difficult to put out because it doesn't fit nicely, snugly on the bell, this part. That is how you extinguish the candles.